What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Please follow my Instagram at RussoLifts, just in case something happens to this YouTube channel. You can follow, message, and you can watch my daily story content on Instagram. I'll see you there. What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. It's time for another episode of BS Clout Grab, Golf Clap. Oh, these videos get me so fucking hard. I'm gonna do a penis video after this. Check out Elevate Alternative, my TRT clinic, and you can DM me on Instagram at RussoLifts for the full catalog of pharma products available, FDA approved compounding pharmacies. And if you do fill out a contact request, there is zero money taken unless you sign up after your free consultation with a licensed physician assistant. Also, if you guys are subscribing, please subscribe, hit the bell, and then click all. And drop a thumbs up. I just beg for likes at this point. I'm a bitch. Anyways, we're gonna be going into low doses. So there's a lot of drama going around in the fitness industry of like the fake Natty, and then like everyone got exposed. All the fake naturals got exposed. Everyone pretty much did away with fake natties. If you claim natty and you're not, you pretty much get destroyed. Where when I started in this industry, everyone was a fake natty, right? Everyone was afraid to lose their supplement sponsorships, etc., etc. Times have changed. Nowadays, it's, oh, I'm on low doses. I'm on low doses. I'm only using 160 milligrams of HRT to maintain this. It's just TRT, bro. Okay, here we go with this rant. So, where do I even begin with this one? So, first off, TRT, 250 milligrams a week is a significant amount of test, in my opinion. Not in a bodybuilding standpoint, but if you're like one of those natural guys, like I already forget his name. What is his name? I don't even fucking know his name. Like, I think the most famous example I've personally witnessed is that Mergin guy, sorry if I butchered his name or whatever, but you know, he was like this natural bodybuilder, etc., etc. Started, you know, obviously popped off with the clout, you know, started collabing with enhanced athletes. And then all of a sudden, you know, his physique changed super weirdly. And he said he was still natural. Finally comes out and he's like, oh, I'm on doctor prescribed TRT. It's no big deal. Massive big deal. I could go in a whole different video on how that's not even like, basically, let's do it quickly. So your hormones, when your natural spike, right? They spike normally. You have a big spike in the morning of testosterone, probably peaks around noon, and then you might be lucky and get another spike. When you're on TRT, it's fucking constantly stable. No stressors in life is gonna fuck that up. You're exogenously adding it in. There's literally no way to have those androgens dip at all when you're a biohacker controlling them. So, giant advantage. But like, you know, you started seeing that, right? Instead of like the fake natties, oh, I'm natural, I never took anything in my, now you see like, if they get called out, well, I'm just on TRT, it's just a low dose. No, that can't fly. But really what's pissing people off, I think, is the shift towards in regular enhanced bodybuilding that low doses are enough to achieve certain physiques. My 2 cents, no. If you want to turn pro, you better get ready to blast, right? Unless you got the genetic outlier genetics and you have extreme natural base, maybe you could get away with like a mid-tier cycle. Otherwise, most likely you will be blasting. And that is what it is. You know, if you want to race in Formula 1, you got to go in the dangerous car, right? You're not going to go in a fucking like little ass sports car on a Formula 1 track. You're not going to go on a TRT dose. You're going to get in a Formula 1 car if you want to race Formula 1. Same sort of ordeal. Now, the thing that also pisses people off is that you'll have these guys, and I'll just throw up Greg Doucette, who say like, oh, I'm only on 160 milligrams of tea a week. here's my physique. But, you know, they'd never give the caveat to the actual like blanket average fitness industry viewer of YouTube that, oh, Greg Doucette, you know, Greg Doucette agrees with me, right? You need to use significant cycles if you want to turn pro. I'm not saying Greg Doucette's theoretically lying here. He's just not saying it how it is. Basically, you know, Greg Doucette, he revealed his contest prep cycles. They were insane. He used an insane amount of gear to turn pro. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying he said what he actually did. The dosages were damn high, and nowadays he's like, oh, I'm only on 160 milligrams and I look like this. Well, the reason why he looks like that, first off, is he does shrink. He just stays in extremely good shape, which makes him look good on camera. Second off, he has all those satellite cells and AR built up from all that cycling at those extreme dosages over the years. So he's got more permanent, you know, tissue than the average gym goer who's gonna go on 160 milligrams and thinks he can build a physique like Greg. No, you can't do that. You actually have to blast, put on tissue for a while, blast constantly, and maybe you can maintain some of it on TRT, HRT. And then you have Derek, more plates, more dates, who I've talked to Derek behind the scenes. He obviously knows that you have to blast significant dosages if you want to, you know, have a significant physique, turn pro, etc., etc. But he will go into harm mitigation, right? He'll go into health and like, oh, like you should do a low dose cycle and obviously have better biomarkers, obviously have way better longevity, way less damage on the body. But once again, it's like this falsified thing of, if you go on that cycle, you're not gonna look like an extreme pro, right? At some point, you gotta expose yourself to extreme amount of androgens for a pretty significant amount of time to build a legitimate physique. When you look at what I did so far, right, if you're following and subscribed to my journey, right, I'm about to compete, I'm about to take some big dosages, but if you look what I did, I would do a little blast, make as much gains as I could, would go into a little cruise, and I would constantly push the calories, stay a bit fat, because that's how you would get big naturally, right? You would get big naturally by eating big, doing big compound movements, and slowly I built this enhanced base. So now that I'm cut down, then I'll add in the crazy androgens and blow up and look freaky, right? Now, if I were to do low doses all the time and never really would have blasted, I wouldn't have those satellite cells, I wouldn't have that AR built up to create that type of physique. Really, it comes down to overall androgen level equals this much tissue held. The minute you drop it down, you're obviously going to lose tissue and you're going to shrink. Now, as your physique becomes more advanced, as you develop more muscle maturity, example Greg Doucette, as you develop more satellite cells, example Greg Doucette, and a lot of AR, you can see that he maintains a pretty significant physique on low doses. Do I think Greg is lying completely about his doses? I think they're low. I don't know if they're exactly 160 milligrams. I don't really care. All I'm saying is the falsified perception of, oh, I can just get there with low doses and have this crazy physique, really isn't the case, because at the end of the day, overall androgen level equals the overall amount of tissue you can hold. That's why, you know, for example, we'll use someone like, let's just say someone big Ramy size has that amount of tissue, right? When he blasts and cruises, just to maintain a cruise, right, you would probably cruise someone at that size of that lean body mass on like 600 milligrams of test, 500 milligrams of test would be their minimum cruise, right? Which is a blast for a normal person. But you have to remember the amount of tissue they have. If they would cruise down at like 250 TRT or 160, their physique would rapidly deteriorate because the androgen level is not there to support the lean body mass. I feel like this perception is pissing a lot of people off because it's really not the truth. But at the same time, especially when we look at Derek's in a biohacking sense, not a bodybuilding sense of longevity, health, keeping biomarkers in check, but still taking the risk for a higher quality of life, right? He's pushing that direction, and he's pushing that onto his following. Which, is that a bad thing? No, because bodybuilding's crazy. You have people dropping dead every year, and there's really no like information out. The information is just getting out in these next coming years, and we'll see how the industry changes. So are you really getting mad at him for that? No, but at the same time, when it comes to a significant physique, you need to be exposed to blast dosages or blast and do significant blasts for a while to build up the physique. And then you have Greg, who's maintaining this almost looks like IFBB pro level physique on what's supposedly extremely low doses, but he doesn't go into that he blasted shit for so many years and all the satellite AR and the tissue muscle maturity is built up to where he can hold that, right? He doesn't talk about that blast period where he was taking an extreme amount of shit for a while, and he's revealed it. It's just, you know, you have to dig through his videos, right? Those are his old videos. And I'm not saying Greg's a liar. Derek definitely knows that you need to do significant cycles. It's just like both of them are placed on these pedestals. The higher the pedestals get, the more they become targets. And the more they're talking about these sort of situations, they're obviously gonna sway their opinion towards harm mitigation. Now, is that completely the truth? No. Do I blame them for doing that? No. But at the end of the day, we got to come to the table and look through the black pill perspective of it is what it is and come to the conclusion that you need significant dosages to build a significant physique, right? When you look at the jumps I made in my physique, the biggest one was injectable LGD 4033, under Sustanon 677, IGF DES, injectable YK11. Big ass blast, boom, I had veins shooting out everywhere at 250 in 2019. I'll have Andrew throw up that. I could not maintain that when I went back into a cruise. I fucking had 2020 happen. You know, I couldn't go to the gym. I decided to go into a cruise. Boom. Physique rapidly deteriorated because I didn't have the androgen level to support that. That's exactly what will happen if you go into a legitimate HRT, right? Unless you have built it up for so long like Greg and have a frame like Greg, that's what's gonna happen, right? And I want to say the truth here, you know, there's definitely a lot of good in what they're doing as far as the harm mitigation. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like a white lie, and it is what it is. I know that they're not lying, and they both would come on here and say, and Greg has said what his cycles were, and I know Derek for a fact knows that you need significant cycles, but you have to take into consideration the age of their viewers, what their, you know, their clout is based around, the pedestals are on, the targets they've become, and how they moved forward with their content. Now, I'm not saying they don't do hardcore content anymore. I know Derek just broke down a top pro cycle, and Greg is no liar about his cycles. He used the term pro. He said it exactly how it is, so I have respect for both of them. But you do see this shift of like, now it's fake Natty. Now people hide behind, oh, the dosage is super low. They'll lie about their actual cycle, or they'll actually be on that amount, but not talk about their past of abusing the fuck out of steroids and SARMs and growth hormone and everything. So keep that into consideration. That's the raw truth. The raw truth is here. Subscribe with the bell on. I'll see you guys in my next video.